Hello everybody out there on YouTube, this is your man Hastags dropping some hot frogga on this mic. Today we're going to be talking about Bayonetta 3, the drama surrounding it and Helena Taylor, and ultimately what this means going forward. Helena Taylor has set a horrible precedent. She has lied, weaponized fans of a fan base, and ultimately I think harmed many voice actors in the industry going forward should they ask for higher prices or rates for their voice. If you need to be caught up to speed, in a series of videos on Twitter that have now garnered over 10 million views, Helena Taylor discusses why she left the Bayonetta franchise, advocates that fans of the series boycott the game, and lambasted Jennifer Hale, the current voice of Bayonetta. In the video, she goes on to describe her process of doing things, how originally the first rates she were offered were far too low for her to accept, and how after raising the rates, Platinum Games only offered her a measly $4,000 for the entirety of Bayonetta 3. As many would learn after many journalists came out with word from Platinum Games and Nintendo and official documents, this was all a lie. While neither side has released any information as to not break NDA, despite Taylor already breaking NDA discussing this whole matter, Taylor herself pulled out a thread that kind of corroborates everything we've heard from journalists like Jason Schreier. According to Schreier's end, Hale was offered $3,000 to $4,000 per session with a minimum of 5 sessions, which is far, far, far higher than the union rate. Taylor would have made at least a minimum of $15,000 with a maximum of $20,000 or more. Taylor declined this offer, seeking 6-figure numbers, which admittedly isn't wrong. She's playing the main character in a AAA game, contributes heavily to the project. But moving on, Platinum says they can't meet that. So over the course of this, she decides to, get in touch with Hideki Kamiya, the creator of the Bayonetta franchise, who is also in the upper echelon of Platinum Games. Kamiya highly values Taylor, but they've already re-auditioned for the role and recast the role. So Kamiya offers her something else, $4,000 to at least cameo in the game in some way, shape, or form over 1 session. Taylor declines this, and we get the story we have now. Taylor took advantage of people in their goodwill, and also people's knowledge of how little voice actors are valued in the Western voice acting industry. We know people like the ones who worked on the dub of the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie got as little as $150, despite the movie making $200 million at box office worldwide. Or how people like Kyle McCarley, who played the protagonist Mob in Mob Psycho 100, was essentially fired for even asking Crunchyroll to sit down with unions. He wasn't asking for union rates. He didn't even ask for them to unionize. He just asked, hey, could you sit down with a union so maybe we could talk about things? Even if you don't agree with them, I would just like this to happen before we go on with the series. Crunchyroll said no and then fired him later. So you can see that the Western voice acting industry is not friendly to the people who make the industry its money. Taylor took advantage of this goodwill, and now what I believe will happen is that it's going to be a lot harder to ask for union rates. Now, why is that? First of all, when you ask for a higher price now, everybody's going to look to Taylor because, again, this had a lot of eyes on it. And they're going to ask, are you going to be another Taylor? So now you may not be worth dealing with in the eyes of that company who is casting that role. And now it's also much harder to justify in the public eye after lying to millions of people. Literally, she could have done the exact same thing, come out with the right numbers and right information, and everyone would have had her side. But she went to and lied about it and weaponized the fan base against a fellow voice actress in the community. And I get it, she's salty about the role being recast. But at the end of the day, you didn't want to take the job and other people have to make money. I love the Bayonetta games, they've had a big impact on my life, but it's not going to change the world if someone else plays the character. Let's be real. This whole ordeal originally had me very upset because I saw one of my favorite game developers mistreating someone and I ultimately canceled my pre-order. But guess what? I'm just gonna pre-order the game again. Hopefully it's good, but hopefully we can continue the dialogue going about whether or not voice actors are getting paid properly. Sorry, sometimes English is hard. But tell me how you feel about this in that comment section down below. This has been your man, Hastags. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with friends. Remember, hot Faraga turns to cold Blizzaga. Chill out with some of my other videos. Peace, and have a good one.